could also get mana burn from that little creep or the purge or any number of...
Yeah, that's true.
There are also items that break Lincolns, like Force Staff or Halberd or Atos.
Please. He's never going to... okay, Halberd is going to be good this game, though. But that's for Lifestealer.
All right, call it, Suns fan. Who is winning? The
Danish
losers eliminated.
Bears.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with you, too. You guys talked me into it. I believe in the 747 Storm. Okay, well, that's it. We've got Annie and Purge again as we load into game. Well, anything else, Suns fan? Do you have any other thoughts about this?
No, Phoenix just feels awful right now. I don't know, actually. It could be it'll be an interesting game to say the least. I thought last game Singularity was just going to get wrecked, and they held on, and they did well, so you never know.
Well,
I've been wrong every time, so let's see if it continues.
Let's see. Maybe you're the good luck charm they need. All right. I'll hand it over to our casters now, and they'll take it away.
All right. Thank you, Zyori. We are in here game number 3. Like we mentioned, all on the line. One of these teams, it's their last game on LAN. Purge, how you feeling about these drafts?
I honestly don't know who's going to win. I think there's obviously advantages for both teams. I think the last pick of the draft was semi-predictable in that they needed a mobile hero that ideally... can evade like weak lockdowns and things like that, and they picked it. It's a Storm Spirit. Rubik may die though.
I mean, he wants to finish his mission. He went in there to ward, and by damn, he drops that last sentry. This time does get clipped by the cask. The body blocks trying to come in from Peytos. Looks like Searing Chains are going to be skilled up, and there's the damage they need. Ace trying to go for the body blocks, but only delaying the inevitable. Rubik goes down, but I mean, did get vision up.
Yeah, it's pretty solid actually, and they're going to be able to grab the bounty rune on top of that. I think the real mistake they're maybe making is that they...
Ace? He's
in
trouble.
God, he's dead.
Yeah, that's a double kill, and that didn't need to happen. Ace went in a little bit of Savior Buddy Syndrome to try to body block for the Rubik, but well, there's ample damage, and all of a sudden, this looks exactly like Game 2 with 2 kills before the horn. The difference is up top, Hesta, Joe, and Noya trying to hold back here and at least get a bounty rune steal.
Yeah, so I think the kind of the silly thing about the blocking is that it's kind of overkill to try to overblock a Doom like that. Like, there's camps all over the map, and technically he can just let somebody else take the lane for 30 seconds, go somewhere on the map to grab a creep. So I think it was really, really over-enthusiastic to drop the sentry as well.
Yeah, it was just kind of, he saw that Doom was coming for him and just kept on walking, kept on finishing his mission, but we'll see. Currently no D-wards coming in. Our mid matchup here, Ember Spirit versus Storm Spirit. We got our Spirit brothers hanging out. What do you expect to happen here just in a vacuum?
In a vacuum, I would say it's pretty good for Storm Spirit because he can harass Ember every time Ember comes for a last hit, but things like Cask make it a little bit harder.
Yeah,
it's very hopeful. Searing Chains.
Not going to latch that time?
Considering the fact that he got the double kill, though, he's already got a magic wand to start, so he's going to be able to pick up charges slowly, which makes it even harder for Storm to actually get one of those kills. Yes. Did Doom find a creep? He went for the...
Hellbear Clapper.
The Hellbear. It's a pretty good one. 15 attack speed to start. It's a decent disable, but it doesn't have the most mana, so it can be a bit iffy.
Yeah, I mean, 747 already having a pretty tough time here, just having to focus his attention on going and harassing back the Witch Doctor, while Nisa just gets all the farm that he wants. Now, in the river here... Charge coming in. Looks like Witch Doctor's going to take the long way around. Noya out of mana. Charge still on cooldown. Witch Doctor definitely playing the long game here.
You can actually kill him here. All depends if he throws the cask.
Back towards mid, though. 747 gets super, super low. A low health Witch Doctor just teasing him. They are going to be able to go and break the salve of 747, so he's going to be sitting at low health for a long time. And Witch Doctor is still alive. Noya taking his time with that clarity, but canceled immediately by right click, so that Witch Doctor just makes some big moves happen.
Put some shoes on him, and this guy's actually pretty speedy. He doesn't have any cool cosmetics, I must say. This is a basically naked Witch Doctor, but the important thing is that he's faster than the Spirit Breaker, even against the Orb of Venom, and as a result he gets out. That actually cost Spirit Breaker a lot. They maybe honestly could have killed the Doom instead. They started off slapping Doom with the Orb of Venom instead he charges for the Witch Doctor. He felt like that was an easy kill, but I think they could have just ran Doom down.
How do you feel about Doom coming back into competitive? We've seen a little bit more love for him than in the past. Is this deserved? Can he really offlane with the best of them?
I think he can offlane. I'm not sold on him being amazing. And I think sometimes he can play 4th position, but the heroes you prefer to be against are kind of like squishy spellcasters like Witch Doctor, Lion, things like that. People that you can bully and don't take a huge amount of damage to kill. I think that's the way to play the hero decently.
All right, up top, K-Core gets trapped in. Hesta Joe, again, back on this clock. This is looking very reminiscent of Game 1 of Hesta Joe just having a really easy time here. But this time, K-Core not dropping, and they're going to bring an Exotic Deer for some more damage. Getting that stun onto Hesta Joe. He's going to wind his way into the trees. Tries for the TP out. It's real optimistic. Does he make it? Oh, just a little bit shy of time there, but going to be some more good gold for that Witch Doctor. Just starting to rake it in here.
Yeah, he might have died anyways, just because Maledict was about to tick. They also killed Doom on the offlane. And not too surprising. Scorched Earth is not going to offset the fact that Lifestealer hits super hard physically. And it's just going to be Doom doing his best to get 6 on a reasonable time, but Clockwork's obviously having a much bigger impact.
Yeah, this feels like such a good Lifestealer game. His team is just all composed of great Lifestealer vessels. He can go, he can hit the egg, no problem, so that Phoenix shouldn't cause him too much trouble. I mean, what's the drawback here to Radiant's lineup? What are their weaknesses?
So if they initiate on Lifestealer and he's kind of in a bad spot, then he kind of just has to run. Like, yes, he can go Magic Immune, and that's great and all, but if he's far away from the egg, he has to walk to the egg. If he wants to kill the Ember, that's also difficult.
Initiation onto 747. They burn up all his mana, trying to go in for those all-important kills on him pre-level 6, but not able to find what they're looking for with just the Witch Doctor and the Ember Spirit. He just kind of stands his ground as teammates come and TP in, so not finding any blood here. Bit of a fast start, but slow laning phase.
And Doom grabbing another creep, putting it in his belly, goes back to the lane, but again, you just can't really lane this hero against Lifestealer. There's some carries that you can abuse, but he's got 0 armor, he's only got a stout shield, no poor man, so his physical resistance is pretty atrocious, and he can't bully Spirit Breaker. He can kind of bully the Rubik, but he's been playing safe and mostly been in a 1v1, so I just don't see the Doom being very effective here. Maybe if he got a different creep like the Alpha Wolf or something, he could have traded better at level 1, but he was forced to grab something else, and now he's in this kind of crappy situation.
I mean, what's Doom's ideal game? How does he have the impact that he's looking for? Like, why did his teammates pick him? Is it just because he needs to get as fast to level 6 as possible and then cripple Storm? Oh, speaking of Storm, he's in some trouble here. Only level 5, doesn't have that ball lightning, and it looks like this time they're able to finish him off. Noya with a revenge charge coming in, does Nisha down to half health, but no more mana and no more damage to press forward. So good rotation in from Singularity.
An ideal Doom game is ideally pressuring the carry a little bit, maybe getting a kill on the support. Or if you're in the roaming position, you can get a good roaming creep, like maybe the Mud Golem or maybe the Satyr, but you don't really have the mana for it. It's just he's just kind of in a weird position right now, so I think the way you have to play him is just kind of getting really HP heavy. Like Vanguard, Crimson Guard has been pretty popular, maybe getting the health creep at 10. That way you can just kind of stay alive and continuously get your disables off.
Oh, Nisha, this time in trouble. Storm Spirit so close to that level 6, but not able to find it. Wants to stick around on the wave to get a little more XP, and now has his ball lightning. So ganking 747 going to be getting a lot trickier.
I mean, they've got 2 seconds of Searing Chains disable plus a cask, so they can definitely still kill him, but... And Maledict as well, makes it easy. Easy-ish.
Looks like they're trying. Double damage rune spawns top, but not going to get scouted out just yet, so these 2 smoked boys just going to be going back and farming up, so... Currently in the farm game, our Ember Spirit topping out the charts. Lifestealer, even though he's having a really free lane, Doom not giving him much trouble, still not number 1 on that last hit chart.
And he's going to go for Midas. So, I guess this is okay. Doom kind of has this problem in this game where he pretty much wants to Doom every single hero. Like, he would love to Doom Lifestealer, both, and Storm probably are the big 2. But I'm not entirely sure that he's going to be super effective. I guess he's going to be hard to kill at least.
I have a feeling Clock is dead.
He's a little surrounded. He's going to go out fighting though.
Yep. Hesta Joe, he'll never just sit back and take it here. He's going to be burning low. Last Maledict finishes him off, but Ember Spirit's there to charge him with a Remnant anyway. And speaking of charge, down bottom, our Doom going to get locked out. He's level 5. They're trying to kill him off before that all-important ultimate. And it's taken them a while. He is so tanky. But finally, Ace finishes the job. He's getting closer to that Midas, but still a ways to go. He still just wants to sit back in this lane and farm passively. They should be able to find this tier 1 tower. K-Core and the Phoenix is nearby, but only level 4, so no threat of a supernova. TP in, the Weaver comes there, so there's more damage, trapping Noya in. He does have the charge out if he wants to try to make his way through, and he will be doing that, but the Swarm isn't going to do enough damage. That bug is biting, and it looks like he goes down. Can't make it to the Ancients.
It's kind of a bad sign when you need your Weaver's Swarm to actually be the thing that gets you the kill. But it works eventually. They're just trying to kill the creeps here, so that the Lifestealer might get killed. He pops out. He has Rage, so it'll be fine.
Yep, just making his way through. Hesta Joe again locking down the Doom and the Cogs. Doom only level 5, so no threat of pushing in a little bit too far, but they got to make sure that everyone's still healthy and this is still a good fight, because it's wasting a lot of Danish Bear's time right now.
But it's also kind of wasted some of Singularity's. I mean, it delays Doom 6 a bit. He keeps popping Scorched Earth just to trade with like tanky melee support kind of heroes. And his item build is fine here. He's going to go Wand into Phase. I haven't tried this build before. Usually I go Tranquils, even if the armor got nerfed. That was actually one of the biggest things I heard him, was that losing the armor from Tranquils. But we'll see how this impacts. I want to see this work. I want to understand how Doom is effective as a core, but just not sold on it yet in a game like this where everybody's so tanky.
We'll see. I mean, there's lots of good Doom targets like you mentioned. Hesta Joe potentially in some trouble here. There is going to be a charge onto the Witch Doctor. Hesta Joe still trying to make space and lures Nisha under the tower. Nisha now, no more remnants for him. They are going to be able to go and root Noya, who does go down. So once again, a little bit of save your buddy syndrome costing Danish Bears a life.
I think this Witch Doctor is playing amazing. I love how he's moving around the map. He's just got Maledict and Paralyzing Cask, and he's just making stuff happen. Like, Maledict is actually such a incredibly strong skill damage-wise, and he's making the hero look like it doesn't matter if there's only one guy to throw a Cask at. He just amplifies all of the damage output that his team does.
Yeah, playing really nicely with his cores, just always where he needs to be, and we'll see if that keeps up. He is only level 4 at almost 10 minutes in the game, but that's what you expect out of a support that's just spending his time trying to make sure his cores are having an easy time.
The Doom chose not to devour the Alpha Wolf. I'm a little surprised here. I think it's by far the best creep that you can get. It's sometimes, in most cases, even better than an Ancient creep. But opts to pass it up. He does pick up 6 though, so we should see him try to get a kill pretty soon, and we'll see where he aims to go for it. Usually a Storm would be the ideal one, prevent him from Ball Lightning, using Ball Lightning, but they could also try to set up a kill on Lifestealer if they bring a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, another
but
big
there's still
level 6.
no Witch Doctor ulti, no Phoenix ulti. They need something that can back up the Doom, basically.
We'll see. We've got Clockwork just kind of poking around here. No real Radiant Vision coming down on this side of the map. Just Clockwork exploring. Hesta Joe wants to show off that new hook shot. A fresh level 6 on him, and it looks like the target might be this Phoenix. Singularity, they've tried now twice to run this Phoenix, and no success rate just yet. We'll see if he's going to get pulled down here. Goes for the Icarus dive into that TP, and, well, hook shot to cancel it. They do now have the Phoenix locked down. Going to be rotating an Ace as well. He's not even needed for the kill as Clockwork just takes him out with that battery assault. Now, mid lane, there is going to be Storm Spirit going forward. He's getting low here. Are they able to turn this around? Oh, my goodness. Nisha's going to live thanks to this Witch Doctor who's playing out of his mind.
And the Doom smoke doesn't break, which is actually quite nice, because he can try to set up a kill now with it. Maybe aim for Lifestealer, but they're going to need TP rotations, and the smoke's going to break on the SB as well.
Yep, they know someone's nearby.
Ember's coming, though.
There's the smoke.
Alright, this will work out fine.
Yeah. Noya, I mean, just scout it out. They want to go straight in. They do doom up the Lifestealer. No rage for him. Charge comes in. Noya going down fighting. The 3 remnants popped out trying to blast this Lifestealer apart, and he does end up going down. It's just going to be Noya TPing out, but some good picks by Singularity now.
Yeah, they end up committing for the important kill. They didn't care about the Spirit Breaker. They just wanted to go straight for the Lifestealer. And even with Rage, he still ensures that he doesn't get out. It's going to be a Drum on Doom, so Drum Phase for lots of movement speed and some basic stats.
All right, so Singularity definitely a kill lead, overall net worth lead a little bit in their favor. How does Singularity keep that up? How do they keep that gas pedal push? Just keep going for kills, or do they have to start moving as a group?
I think they can definitely take a team fight now. They don't have Witch Doctor ulti still, but they've got Supernova. The downside, the biggest downside especially, is that Doom is a really long cooldown ability right now. So he can, as long as he ganks correctly, he can always get a kill, like what we just saw. But they're separated by over 2 minutes. So it kind of comes down to, can Danish Bears respond in a better way in between those 2 minutes, or do something else maybe.
Storm Spirit in some trouble. 747 trying to zip back, but with the Maledict on him, it might just be too much damage. Phoenix Egg going to be going through. It looks like it will be taken out. So right now, just going to be a 2 for a trade. 747 finally goes down to the Maledict. And now, oh man, Paytos, he's just fighting through this. The Scorched Earth is going to get 2. Purge, eat your words about Doom being bad here.
I mean, he got some levels and stuff.
And stuff, man. Ace, he's got to rage out just to make sure he doesn't die here. Oh, if that was a Geminate attack, he'd be dead. But the right click from this Witch Doctor, my goodness. This guy's playing so tight. Now, Noya going to be charging in, keeps the Weaver under tower. But there's nothing that Danish Bears can do against Singularity right now. They're just fighting as 5.
And that is one of the benefits to him, is that if you just stand there and use Scorched Earth and you don't die, then you're swinging a lot of HP, because you're getting 40 HP per second while also dealing that damage out. So you have to basically commit and kill the Doom. If you don't have quite enough damage, then things get really dicey like that. And because Storm lost all of his HP right at the start of the fight, which was basically just Searing Chains, Maledict, and a little bit of right clicks, they didn't really have the damage output that they needed to kill Doom, and they overcommitted. So once you get a kill like that as Doom, then everything kind of changes. Once there's a fight like that, and Doom just came off cooldown, so he's actually more ready to fight now than he was previous.
Yep, looks like everyone's just going to be going and resetting, and Singularity going to be trying to keep this up. So, yeah, I mean, looking at net worth right now, our Ember Spirit still topping out the charts. He's been involved in a good number of kills now, 10 kills with his name on it.
That's actually insane for him. Really good. 2 of those were at the start of the game, I suppose, but he's going to take the off-lane tower. The Radiant safe lane is pretty solid for him. Pretty much no contesting there. We see a scan from Radiant spotting out the tower to check to see if anybody's there. So very likely Danish Bears will try to take that as their next location. Ooh, an invis as well for Doom. This is so good for Singularity, but I don't think he's going to find anybody unless they go to defend mid, maybe?
Yeah, we'll see. It looks like that's where Singularity's moving in, just kind of taking over the jungle, dropping a little bit of vision as they go. And TP's into the tier 2. We'll see if this is scouted out. Doom just strolling forward, scouts onto 2. And now this is a really great position for him. He sees everything he wants. Is he going to jump onto 747? Again,
oh, definitely.
Got the Doom
when they're
ready.
ready to fight.
There he goes. He goes straight in, and K-Core's there to follow up. Does get stunned. Will he get a chance to egg? It looks like the Phoenix Supernova will come out just barely in time. Meanwhile, over here, there was a Witch Doctor just channeling his ward for all it's worth. Rise now trying to run, but gets clipped by the Supernova Blast. His Scoochie ends, and meanwhile, Paytos just goes and finds another kill. Dominating streak. He does lose his life eventually, but wow, that was a great fight from Singularity. Just a great way to start it off with that Doom Invis rune, and it feels like Danish Bears just don't know how to react to this.
I was actually so lucky that he found that, because guaranteeing the fight starting like that is insane. Like, Storm Spirit accomplishes nothing. He's disabled. He's hit from the back as well, which also creates confusion for the other heroes in the back lane while the rest of his team goes in. And then the Phoenix gets the perfect Supernova off. All the pieces came together, and a lot of that came down to the Invis rune for the Doom. They even put a sentry down, but he had already passed it. That was actually pretty incredible. And Singularity now really launching themselves into a good spot, because that's now 2 Doom kills, and Storm Spirit going down there was very crucial. Delayed Bloodstone and everything.
Yeah, kill score now being doubled up. I mean, you look at this Ember Spirit on the Dire side, and he's really starting to ball out of control. The Doom keeping his net worth pretty high for an offlaner as well. The Weaver's been quiet. Net worth kind of conservative. When does he start really coming online?
There's a Weaver in this game?
Yeah, right? He's doing all right for himself. 105. It's not like he's been feeding or anything, but just staying quiet, still working on that first item, Lincoln Sphere. Still a ways away.
Yeah. It's pretty common for Weavers to have this kind of a slow start. They just go to their lane, they quietly get their last hits, they try to get their survivability items, and then maybe a bit later they build their Deso after their Lincolns or whatever other damage item they want. So he's just going to go... Like, basically the problem in this game, for him at least, is that Spirit Breaker is kind of hard to play against, because Spirit Breaker will provide vision of where he's standing at all times. And Lincolns can definitely protect against that. It also covers against the Storm Spirit. There's a lot of good solutions, basically. So he's just got to be kind of passive like this for a while. And once he gets Lincolns and maybe another damage item, you'll see him fight a lot more.
Yeah, so again, tons of room to grow in this Weaver. It's already feeling like Singularity are bringing more damage to the fight, but now Rye's going to be going, and well, he's invis and drops out the Lifestealer. This Doom, he's going to get what's coming to him. 747 able to zip in and get credit for that kill, so some much needed gold going his way. Phoenix, though, going to zip in. Doesn't want to let this go without a fight. Looks like Witch Doctor's going to be able to go channel up a really nice ult. They lock Ace in place, and that's a dead Lifestealer, so they're going to be trading 1 for 1 there. Position 1 for an offlaner. Still a good trade for Singularity.
Yeah, that was the downside of using Rage to help kill the Doom, that you didn't have Rage when the Maledict hits you later. And that's pretty much going to be a guaranteed kill every time that you get a trade like that. So, very good for Singularity. They didn't even commit all of their big ultimates yet. Still no Supernova. There's a Midas recipe on the Phoenix as well. They're looking to be in a very good position here. The downside, though, is that they're going to gain so much gold from all of these like Devour perks and Midases that any deaths that they do have is going to push the Radiant team up quite a bit. And considering they have pretty darn good gank heroes, I'd say definitely better than Singularity's. It just comes down to mid and late game maneuvering around the Spirit Breaker, the Clockwork, the Lifestealer, and the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of late game, if this does get dragged out pretty late, like game number 2, I mean, how are things going to change? Storm Spirit obviously going to be scaling nicely, but oof. See that from Nisha.
What did I miss? I didn't see anything.
Just a charge in, Nisha able to dodge it.
Okay.
But yeah, in general, if this goes super late, what do we have to watch out for?
I would say it's pretty good for Supernova. Like, Doom is always going to be effective. If it kind of comes down to if you get Doom off on the right heroes, you win the fight.
There we go. Finally, Ember Spirit will get brought down. He definitely just kind of played with kindness there for a while, taking some dangerous maneuvers, but does eventually get punished.
And blown up is maybe the better way to describe that. Like, he just absolutely got chain stunned. They've got good solutions for that. And they've got good spells to steal. They've got decent ways to scale. I mean, they're not going to carry as hard. Yeah, they're still going to carry fine. Like, Lifestealer, Light Game's good.
Ooh, Phoenix, they're going to tease up the Icarus dive, but able to hold him in with the Electric Vortex. He goes in for the Supernova, and with the Witch Doctor ulting, that's going to buy him plenty of time, so Phoenix is going to come out all restored and fresh. Noya burns down to the Sunray. Peytos gets credit for that kill with the Infernal Blade, but still, Singularity managed to make that at least an even trade.
It's not too bad, yeah. Supernova, losing that was a little bit tough, I guess, but just a little bit too safe a play there. What's SP's charge? It's a little bit in both. I think he might have been able to get his ulti off in time. Could have been huge to kill the Phoenix there at the start. So just back to standard stuff. Push lanes, look for kills. Doom's maybe not feeling too pressured. He does show up to fights, which is good. He also bought very safe early game items, Drum into Vlad's. So helps make up for some of his lackings and some of his armor problems. He'll go for a Solar Crest next. Just continue collecting gold, as does everyone.
So what does Doom want to be picking up into the late game? Like, once he's 5 slotted, how does he really complete that? How does he make himself a big fighter?
Blink is always your grab. You'll probably want something like a Shiva's Guard to help for your armor lacking later, and also to give you a bit more mana pool and a little bit more utility. So Shiva's is usually pretty popular. You can do things like BKB in there as well. So that you can basically blink, BKB, ulti somebody, maybe a refresher, maybe an X, probably some of those items.
Mid lane, Icarus dive in. They use the telekinesis to hold back Nisha, but Ryze still ends up getting burned. All the Dire heroes making their way in. They've got a sentry here. Hesta Joe waiting in the wings. And there's going to be a K-Core going in to try to deward. Hesta Joe makes himself known. And it looks like everyone's going to be backing off here, but Singularity, they will still take a fight if it's brought to them. They've still got Doom. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, 2 heroes trying to gang up on Nisha, but maybe deciding better of it. Exotic Deer in the area as well, so Noya discouraged from charging.
Yeah, they were a little unsure if Storm would continue, because if he did and they Searing Chains him, they could maybe kill him. I've really never, it's been a while since I've felt like Storm was so vulnerable despite kind of weak disables. Like, all it's really taking is the Searing Chains, and it buys them enough seconds to let Witch Doctor follow up with Maledict, but that's been really hurting Storm this game. He went Bloodstone first, he's going to have an Orchid now, and then he's going to start finally feeling like he can kill people, but it's been delayed enough that I think it's bought Singularity a lot of time here. Till the Lincolns comes out, the Ember's got tons of armor and Blade Mail. I think they're in a decent spot. They'll spot at the clock at least.
Yeah, Hesta Joe at least distracting the Ember Spirit here, but Ember Spirit's still going to dump out a ton of remnants, but it's just him versus the world. 3 heroes going in. There is going to be that double man chains. Clockwork does end up burning down, although the cask will not come in quick enough to stop the next TP, so just going to be a 1-for-1 there. Losing the Weaver, never ideal though. He just got totally picked apart.
At least they got a return kill with the Ember Spirit, and he's building really heavily into armor now. maybe wish he was going
Oh,
more raw
Ace.
HP, but
Ace has got his eyes on the prize here. Stays, rages to try to finish the tower. Doesn't end up finishing the tower, just channels up a TP. He gets out with the last of his rage, but the tower does get denied. So Singularity at least making a hold there, and now there's a big wraparound onto Noya.
this could be a decent kill. They're not going to want to doom him though. They're looking for Storm or somebody else more valuable. God, everybody just please people, they nerf Solar Crest. Stop building it so much.
Well, looks like our Spirit Breaker's rooted in place. He's going to try to charge himself away. Reinitiates onto the Witch Doctor, but can we give this Witch Doctor some sort of award right now? 7, 2, and 8. He is doing
that's actually so
well.
good. 7, 2, and 8 is insane for support, actually.
Now, Clockwork Lockdown. There's going to be the Phoenix Sunray, and this time Phoenix having a huge impact in the fight. Just making it feel like that Clockwork was absolutely nothing.
And he's leveling up a lot right now. He's got level 13, 20% experience gain talent, and the Midas. He's going to get level 3 Supernova very soon.
Yeah, a lot of that was just because Weaver kind of rotated to that bottom lane pretty early, and Phoenix had a lot of solo time in the top while, all the skirmishes were going down mid. And speaking of skirmishes, finally, there will be a drag back onto the Phoenix. Meanwhile, Ember Spirit isolated, so 2 important heroes going down. It's now just out to the Doom and the Witch Doctor to walk themselves out, and looks like they won't go and get that cancelled. Both able to go in TP.
It's a perfect fight for them. Storm had a great move there, grabbing the Phoenix on the backline. That would have disrupted all the team fight potential, and they also killed the Ember Spirit. And to make matters even better, the Doom was wasted. So now they're just going to sprint straight towards Roche because they know that their opponents don't have good team fight. At least until Phoenix is up. And even then, Doom is not going to be the same hero.
Yeah. Roche is, it's going down medium fast for how early it is in the game in this lineup, so 747 should be able to go and chip in. He's starting to do a lot of damage now. Swarm comes in. 4 heroes now dealing with a bug. See if they want to actually fight this, because the Roche is still about a third health. It's not going to be easy, not going down as quick as they want. They send Hess to Joe to try to zone, but that might just be too much for him. Cogs now down for another 10 seconds, and there's a Supernova right over the pit. Ace going to be going in, trying to get that down, but looks like the Supernova goes out, but the Radiant are starting to crumble. Once again, a great ult comes in from the Witch Doctor. Meanwhile, the Dire take out Roche. 747 gets the Aegis Snatch, so you've got 2 Storms, but the fight's not over yet. They want to go back in on this Doom. They will be able to find that, but net in onto Ace. It looks like we are just going to have Ember Spirit trying to run himself out of here. Ember Spirit will get caught. That's a triple kill for Ace. Rise taking one for the team. Will eventually get finished off by the Swarm, but they're not going to let this Witch Doctor out now. Aegis popped as Storm goes in just a little bit too deep. And there will be that TP out from the Witch Doctor, not able to get there in time. So very violent, bloody Roche fight. Lots of Singularity heroes end up dead, but they get the Roche.
Just a slightly misplaced Supernova there. He actually wanted the egg to be on the other side of the Roche wall, because then their opponents would have to walk out and hit it. But instead, he was unfortunately on the inside. He dropped Fire Spirits, but the Lifestealer raged. And then once the egg dies, everything got real sloppy. On the bright side, though, Singularity did get the Roche kill. The Aegis was stolen by 747, but I don't even think that's terrible in these circumstances, because the Aegis still got burned, and they still did get a couple kills and the Roche gold. So I don't think they can be too unhappy with that one. And that was all without Doom, which, by the way, is up now in about 10 seconds. So
Yeah.
they're getting tanky, but we don't have a pipe yet on Singularity's side. That might have been a better option for Doom versus all of the armor, but maybe they're building towards the wrong solutions. They're building towards being survivable against the Lifestealer.
747 ready to go in. Has that zip, just going to unload it here. Doom now splatted down. Not going to get a chance to use that ult you were talking about. Witch Doctor going to be next on the menu here. So easy kills, 2 in a row now for Danish Bears. And the problem now, you talked about 747 getting that Aegis. Well, that prevented him from dying and losing all those Bloodstone charges. Now 22 for him. This Storm Spirit's getting a little bit crazy at only 26 minutes in.
Yeah, and all the magic damage. Like, Doom doesn't even look like he has any survivability items in those last couple engagements. I mean, part of that is Deso as well from Lifestealer. Lifestealer's hitting really hard right now, and Doom's armor is still not incredible by any means. It's like, what, 15 or something? It's okay. 15 to 18. It's okay, but it's not super amazing. So he's still getting killed rapidly. I feel like Singularity's kind of dropped the ball a little bit in the last 5 to 10 minutes. They need to continue trying to set tempo and get kills. And they haven't really done that. They've just kind of been sitting back, farming a little bit. I feel like they lost a lot of grasp in this game in the last 6 minutes or so.
I mean, what's going to turn that around? Is it really just kills? Is it Weaver starting to come online as a real damage dealer?
Kills is always a big thing. It's about ganking to make up so that your opponents can't farm in the meantime, so that they can't execute the ganks they want. It could be try to take a team fight and then take a Roche afterwards, or take a tower afterwards. All that stuff really adds up.
Yeah, Singularity. They're trying to make the moves here. Big smoke gank out. We'll see if they're able to find anything. Just dropping a little bit of vision as they go. Fresh ward up on that cliff. So Radiant, they're dropping some pings. Weaver's going to be showing.
They scanned it.
Yeah.
They know where their opponents are right now, so they're just going to try to break the smoke and then get on out as needed.
Our Lifestealer, I mean, he's pretty huge right now. Going for a Lincoln Sphere. Pretty defensive item. It'll definitely help him stats-wise. What do you expect him to go for next?
Obviously, that's to block Doom, because if he gets doomed, his ability to impact is a little bit iffy. After that, though, I think he's going to just go like Abyssal or something. Maybe like a Blink Dagger, but I think Abyssal is definitely very safe. Could go AC, perhaps, to stack with the Deso. He's got a lot of options. I think it depends on how the next couple fights go. First, it's probably a little too early to tell. It's difficult to look 2 items ahead, basically, because it all depends on tempo of the other heroes.
Nice zip in and silence. They get the hook shot as well. There's a charge coming through, so serious lockdown committed for this Ember Spirit. And is it going to pay off in the end? Ember Spirit's still alive. Oh, just with a scratch of health. Huge turnaround there for Singularity, and Nisha lives. Oh my goodness. What a great reaction to that.
They did it so well. Also, they got him so low, but the Sleight of Fist and then the Fire Remnant. I thought the Sunray was way too late. I didn't think it was going to work, but they made the plays. Really well played there by Nisha to get that. This is the puck player from last game. This guy's playing actually extremely good today. Shiva's was only 1,700 away, and that's going to make it even harder for them to kill him by reducing their attack speed in the future.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much committed for Danish Bears for that. They started out with Storm Spirit going in, dumping his full load. Clockwork followed up with the hook shot and a charge in, but somehow that combo lockdown wasn't enough.
At some point he's going to use Sleight of Fist and go invulnerable for half a second, and the next moment he'll be jumping around with Fire Remnant, and you're not going to know what to do anymore. And he lands Searing Chains, which prevents you from using Ball Lightning. It just got really messy really fast because they didn't kill him in the original stun. And maybe part of the problem was that not Snaking, 747 got a little bit antsy about the Blade Mail. He maybe should have just hard committed and tried to kill him right there. Instead, he was jumping around, trying to get some distance in. Just commit to it.
Well, speaking of jumping, looks like this time they'll find what they're looking for. K-Core might be a little surprise on top. Hookshot going to be going in. Once again, 2 heroes trapped in the cogs. This Clockwork is on a roll. And now Egg will be finished off. Nice ult being channeled up by the Witch Doctor, but he's not quite tanky enough. Ace changes focus onto him. The Glimmer Cape comes in, and they don't have vision, so Witch Doctor able to TP out, but it's really just damage control at this point. Exotic Deer just going to be trying to run, so 3 heroes dead. Could have been worse, but definitely a good fight for Danish Bears.
Yeah, losing the egg right at the start is really tough for them. So, and also the Ember Spirit, that was a completely different gank, basically. They jumped directly on top of the Ember, and they hit him with everything they had. Obviously, they had no threat of Blade Mail at that time, but if you're splitting the damage between 2 people, you should be able to kill him. And once they kill the Ember Spirit, that's almost all the disable that Singularity is working with them, outside of, like, Witch Doctor Cask if it bounces as well. Which it can. It's got the +2 bounces now, so it'll bounce 10 whole times. It's generally very good against, like, tanky heroes like Spirit Breaker and Clockwork, so there's definitely bounce potential. But they've gotta turn their skills into kills, and it's not happening.
Yeah, right now, I mean, we see Singularity give such a priority to the Phoenix. They've been picking it a ton in the last couple of months, twice already today. But it seems like these eggs are just consistently underwhelming. What do they have to combo them with, or how do they change up that Phoenix play to make it work for them?
No, I think the eggs have been semi-okay. I mean, there's been a couple good ones, there's been a couple bad ones. It all comes down to placement, and it's very difficult when you're playing Phoenix to place it correctly because you're spinning fast in the dive. Do you land Fire Spirits on the important heroes that you need to land it on? There's lots of things like that that really impact whether or not it works. But if you put it too far back, then they just walk away. If you put it too deep, they'll just kill you. It definitely takes a lot of nuance, and I think it basically requires his team to initiate, chasing the opponents down, and he puts the eggs. You want to put it in a place where they can't run, and I can run.
Well, no threat of an egg here. Phoenix goes down immediately. They're bringing Spirit Breaker in, focusing down these tanky targets. Doom out of the fight. No ult going to be spent from him. And they do have this Witch Doctor isolated in. Finally, a dust comes through. That Glimmer Cape going to not give them a problem anymore. So 3 heroes picked down. Great gank from Danish Bears. That's the time where they found exactly what they're looking for.
And now they're just getting completely run over. And that's kind of the thing that's really missing from their draft is they don't have a hero like Clockwork that can initiate, force people to stand still, force people to be in the area. Spirit Breaker kind of functions similar. So with Danish Bears having those hero advantages, if they get to initiate first, it just feels so over for Singularity. Because it's difficult to place the Phoenix Supernova in a place that they need. There carries a Weaver who's not really up to par in items yet. Just everything feels so difficult right now. And Lifestealer's farm is actually insane.
Yeah, he is pretty large right now. Gonna be picking up the Monkey King bar next. It's like Ember Spirit threatening out a defense here. They're not able to take this tier 3 tower down all the way, but I like this play. Danish Bears not getting too greedy. Hesta Joe potentially caught out here. There is going to be a Doom rotating in. They sure would like to Doom that Storm Spirit, but he's already going to be far out. Hesta Joe burns the hook shot. I mean, he's going down swinging, definitely making some space for his teammates to escape.
Yeah, they still get a kill at least. Could have been worse. I think the crucial things that need to happen is that Phoenix needs to get a silence solution. He's queued up the Lotus Orb, but he's just starting it now. Maybe he shouldn't have built the Veil. I think that was kind of overkill. It stacks really well Phoenix's abilities right now, but if you buy a Veil, you're delaying your Plate Mail, you're delaying your Lotus Orb that would solve the Orchid that Storm is eventually going to get. So he missed that timing. It's definitely cost his team in the fights a bit. So they need to get him survivable. They need Weaver to get a damage item. Doom's got to get like some kind of initiation skill or item. He's going to go BKB. That works. But they're just not ready to fight. They're not ready to lock their opponents down, and they need to take a good team fight.
Yeah, an opportunity may be coming soon as both teams gearing up for a big Roche defense now. Aegis and Cheese on the line here. 747 makes his way in. He is infested, so they plop out the Lifestealer, and it looks like this Roche might go down quick enough. Singularity taking their time in the pit. Hesta Joe once again zoning. They will get another Aegis for 747. And Aish is going to be backpacking the Cheese. Now there's the zip in, but Phoenix Sunray doing a lot of work trying to zone out the rest of the Radiant. The Dire, they're still standing strong. They are fighting underneath the Dire Shrine right now. Egg coming off from the Phoenix, and it looks like that will be enough to burn down the Clockwork. He goes out. It's only the Clockwork kill, and Radiant still get the Roche fight they were looking for.
So not too bad for them. Definitely a worthy sacrifice. That was Supernova as well. No Doom came out. Storm Spirit's also going to finish his Bloodthorns, so gonna start seeing some heroes get 4 and 5 shot, most likely Phoenix. Still a scary game for a lot of the heroes here, but I think Danish Bears feel pretty safe right now.
Yeah, you can see the net worth climbing up and up and up in their favor. But big smoke can't coming in. It seems like Singularity, they are not content just to sit back and see how this goes. They want to be the action makers. We'll see if they're going to start things off onto our Storm Spirit here. A difficult lockdown.
That's the guy they want to go on, but the positioning's bad right now. They have to run uphill. Alright, the ward's going to help a lot.
Yep, they go in. They do get that root just briefly, but the silence onto the Ember Spirit. Do they have the damage they need? Long range zip. Storm Spirit should be getting away here. Phoenix going forward, puts the Veil onto the Lifestealer, taking a ton of damage. And now Noya charging in. He's going to be seeing what he can do. Hookshot to reinitiate onto the Doom. They've got Hesta Joe going in again with the Cogs onto 2. These guys' Cogs are unreal as now Storm Spirit goes back in and starts kicking ass and taking names. He's going in 747 verse 3 right now, and it's still looking good. Another flare comes forward, and that Phoenix is just going to get dropped. Rise blinking forward, does have the Infest in him. Noya continuing that charge onto Nisha. We'll see how Nisha's going to deal with this. Just sleight of fist, and wow, there they go. That is a dead Ember Spirit. Weaver, the only survivor, just has to sit back and watch his whole team die. 747 now with 24 Bloodstone charges, and they need buybacks. This tier 3 about to be going down. They're potentially going to be losing shrines and racks on the line here. Again, it's all down to this game. The loser of this game goes home. Exotic
It's
Deer.
very difficult for Singularity to defend this, but they'll do their best.
Shrine activated. Ace goes in. They want to try to take out this Doom. He is definitely not feeling as tanky as he did early on. It's taken them a while to kill him, but he does still go down. Exotic Deer, this Weaver, still trying to do what he can with very few items. Another initiation, another double man Cogs. Glimmercape buying some time for this Witch Doctor. Will get clipped off right as he starts his ults. Phoenix ult does go off, so Supernova down. Didn't really do a whole lot of zoning there. 747 in some trouble, gonna leap forward and pop that Aegis. The rest of his team close behind. They get that call. It's time to fight. They lock Phoenix down. They interrupt his Sunray, and now it's just Phoenix versus 5. All of Danish Bears still alive, and now Singularity 4 heroes down without buybacks. Once again, it's just up to the Weaver, but it's going to get even tougher. They're down a set of racks, potentially 2. And this Weaver is still only working with the Lincoln's Deso.
There's almost no way that they don't get their second set of racks here. Melee Barracks is almost gone already.
Silence up on the Weaver. It's not looking like a long life for him. Oh man, Nisha, he's going down fighting. Nice sleight of fist. We'll be able to go and finish off the Rubik, but well, they kill him off there. Immediate buyback from the Weaver, but it's just him versus the world. Exotic Deer, can he make enough space? Doom up in 10 seconds. It looks like Danish Bears are going to be content just going in and getting 2 sets of racks, but this makes Singularity's game just so much tougher. They're zipping back in. They're trying to blow up the Doom, and they get him down. That's beyond godlike for Ace. Witch Doctor to follow suit. Singularity are going to be tapping out. They are the first team we say goodbye to here at the ZOTAC Cup Masters, but just wonderfully played from Danish Bears. Super incredible synergy.
Yeah, they did a really good job taking team fights. I think Singularity definitely took some bad fights. Like the last smoke one was probably more